Hey now, welcome. This is video number 1 of my new. Hey now, welcome. Let's get this party started. I have taken a deep breath. I have drank a full glass of water. I'm feeling my feet on the ground, and I've had some essential oils to wake up my brain so that I am ready to create the first video of this new YouTube channel that I'm calling Sensitive, Spiritual, and Sovereign. It's for you if you're a highly sensitive woman in midlife, like myself, and you're ready to create a life that's more in alignment with who you are and who you're becoming. There's not really a roadmap out there for us. The dominant culture only doesn't really recognize sensitivity. It doesn't respect or understand it. The way we're given a place to go in retirement just doesn't really look like the kind of place we want to travel to. Am I right? So maybe you're leaving corporate America because you feel burned out or actually physically sick from working in that kind of environment and you're ready for something else. Maybe you love to travel. Maybe you're recognizing that, like me, not only are you highly sensitive, but you're also sensation seeking and you want to try some cool, fun things that maybe you haven't done for a couple of decades or have never tried, but you're ready to have a life that's in alignment and on purpose. So sensitive is however you define it. Your nervous system is a finely tuned instrument. I grew up just explaining myself like, oh, I'm just a delicate flower. The term highly sensitive person did not exist when we were growing up, if you're in Gen X like me. Spiritual isn't about any sort of dogma or any sort of structure. It's about consciousness. It's about awareness. And that's worth revisiting because you've probably at some point in your life, maybe you went on a retreat or did a silent meditation or something like that, but then life gets busy and we're not being reinforced for it and we're not being reminded that, oh yeah, that actually matters. Well, this is a perfect time in life to reestablish or further nurture your connection to all that is, your connection to source. So we're completely unclutching not only from the dominant culture, but also from rigid religious models that don't necessarily directly relate to spirituality. So that's the second word. The third word is sovereign. We are free. Once you become a crone, an older woman in life, we don't have to really line up with those rigid standards. Again, it's just like these boxes that we've been put in that it's just like, yuck, I got to get out of this box. What does that look like? What do I even do? Well, we're going to talk about that in this YouTube channel. And so I'm going to do some different playlists and just tell me what you're into. You're like, hey, let's talk about this. Tell me more about that. My background is as a yoga therapist. I've been interested in the science of consciousness since I was in high school. And it's just something that really makes sense to take care of our nervous system, to be in alignment, to connect with the natural world, to just unpackage all that baggage and cultural conditioning that just keeps us from really living the life that we're meant to live and being the person that we're meant to be. So, how's that sound? Are you in? If you're in, please subscribe. You can be among the first subscribers to my channel. That would be awesome. You can leave a comment. Where are you at? What's going on? When did you find out you were highly sensitive? You can like, you can subscribe, you can hit the bell button to get notifications. I am committing to doing this consistently. And you might be wondering, like, what does this have to do with Jack White? I named this first video, Jack White Made Me Do It, because earlier this week, I saw Jack White live in concert at the Palace Theater in St. Paul, where I live. And wow, he blew me away. I'm a huge, massive fan of live music. We can talk about that too. And he came out onto stage and he was just oozing this totally authentic, unique, creative energy. Every step he took, every guitar move he made was just sparkling with energy. And I was watching him and I was thinking, you know, I could just kind of visualize him in his studio creating these songs. He's a very popular artist. He's created a lot of music. And I was thinking, you know, he wasn't worried about what other people thought about him. He wasn't trying to mask and fit in. Like, he's kind of quirky. He's a little bit of an odd guy, right? And he's just being authentically himself. And I'm like, yes, please, more of that. Because I don't know about you, but I've spent much of my life trying to fit in. Oh, what should I be doing? What's expected of me? And he just like ripped the Band-Aid off of my psyche. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not playing by the rules anymore. I have lived a life where I'm not typically playing by the rules, and I'm happy to share all my travel adventures and my unique ways of bringing income into my world and all that. But I was just like, okay, Jack White, I accept your challenge. And that's what inspired me to create this YouTube channel. I'm like, I want to do something creative. I want to do something fun. I want to talk about my interests as well as supporting sisters who are sensitive and in midlife and are looking for a fresh way to be in the world. And so that's why I named this first video, Jack White Made Me Do It, because it was seeing him live and in person that inspired me to do that. So just a quick rundown of the different pillars that I'm going to be sharing. Fund the fun, right? One of the things I'm doing at this point in my life is a business advisor for highly sensitive women in midlife. So let's create a stream of income that suits our lifestyle first business. I also want to talk about culture, like where's a cool coffee shop that has really soft chairs? I can't sit in a coffee shop with wood or metal chairs. It's too uncomfortable. We're going to talk about culture, music reviews, plays, different venues, and I also love to travel. I have a camper van. I've had a few different camper vans, old 1970 Volkswagen, an 81 and an 85, all air-cooled, but now I have like a brand new, well, it's a 2021 Dodge Ram Solace Winnebago pop top. I love it. So we'll talk about a little bit about van life and travel in general. And significantly, we're going to talk about living in alignment. Things you can do on a day-to-day basis, every morning, when you're out, when you're in your car, to regulate your nervous system. Oftentimes our nervous systems are dysregulated and we might not recognize it or know how to regulate ourselves because nobody taught us when we were growing up. Thank you very little. So as a yoga therapist, I'll share all the tricks and tips that I use to feel centered and grounded and awake and aware. Another aspect is that like consciousness is evolving. The energy is expanding, and I'm going to go there. I'm not going to pretend that we're just physical and that's all there is to it, because our physical experience is like the period at the end of the sentence, and that whole sentence just doesn't get talked about. But when we're not aware and developing our energy body, our unseen relationships with all that is, we're really missing out on a huge, juicy, satisfying, nourishing part of our lives. So thanks for showing up for video number 1. Like I mentioned earlier, if this is something that you feel like, yeah, let's go there, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. You can share it if you know other people who are highly sensitive, midlife, looking for a new direction in life, looking to make something of this next phase, regardless of where we've been before. Thanks for being here.